every day. I'm always trying to be a little bit better than I was the day before.
Yeah.
Because everything isn't always going to be the way you want it or expect it.
Yeah.
But I really consciously try to do that too. Because you never know. And like what I do right now, I work with kids that are expelled from school.
Mm-hmm.
So, they're in alternative school.
Okay, yeah.
So I see these kind of kids every day, and you never know what their situations are at home.
Right.
But you see the results at school because they act out a lot.
Right.
whatever the actions are, you just never know. A lot of times when you get the story behind it, you're like, oh, okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah, you see why. So, but yeah, it's just trying to be better every day. Be a better person every day.
For sure.
Yeah.
It's good. Next question. A lot of these you've kind of answered. The next one is, how do you stay involved with the game, and what is your favorite way to give back? You just pretty much answered that.
I do a lot of, and from time to time I still play.
Yeah.
When my legs allow, my knees allow me, and for me it's just like the camaraderie. It's the camaraderie of it. Even
Totally.
with the older guys I see up at North Collier.
Yeah.
That's another part of the thing too. The camaraderie that you form with these guys.
Yeah.
So like I said, I still try to play a little bit, and I'm always. I do a lot of training and stuff, so it keeps me young, so to speak.
Yeah. Well, it does. It does.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah. But yeah, and I enjoy. The crazy part about it now, I don't watch much NBA ball. I watch college ball.
Oh, there you go.
But I don't watch much of the game now. It's different. Not I don't watch it just because it's different.
Right.
It's just you see it. The college game is a little bit more exciting to me.
Yeah.
Because you got younger. They're younger. They don't know
right
stuff. But
yeah, that's an interesting point.
I know.
And
because you see it, I say, okay, this is you see a college game, and it's a whole different
dynamic.
vibe. Yeah.
Yeah.
The kids they're learning what to do and trying to do different things. And you see this game, okay, this guy not that it's not. It's still a good, it's still good to watch. Yeah, it's still entertainment, but it's just a different style kind now. Yeah, I don't. It's crazy. I don't watch a lot of it nowadays. I don't. There was 5, 6, 7 years ago, I was still, heavily watching a lot of it.
Yeah.
Last few years, I just kind of got away from it a little bit. I watch college basketball, though, a little bit more. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
This one's interesting. What's the most surprising thing you've learned or experienced since retiring? Are you technically retired? Semi-retired. Yeah, because you're still working.
Yeah.
You still.
When I said what's surprising.
Yeah,
now,
surprising is an interesting word. I was looking at that.
Read that one again, Father.
I was like, well, I wonder why I put surprising there.
It's a good question.
Surprising thing you've learned or experienced since retiring?
Since retiring, surprising.
I don't know. That's kind of hard to quantify.
Probably. I would probably say learning to have a lot of patience. Because being a competitor, and no matter what it is, it's kind of always out there.
Right.
And so I had to, over the years, after retiring and stuff from that, I slowly have been able to okay, this is not this. It's just so bring it down a couple of notches. So probably that. Because and really having the patience to understand I'm not doing this anymore. I got, it's a whole different setup.
Shifting gears.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, dial it down a couple of notches. that would be the biggest thing I would say if I had something to say. Just learning how to have that patience and I'm not gonna say understanding, but the patience.
Yeah.
To be able to change when stuff changes.
I mean, it is kind of understanding.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say that, to having that patience, man, because
that's good. Like adjusting to change and
that's a better way to put it.
Yeah.
And it took me. I guess I'm still kind of going through it. So depending on what day of the week it is.
Yeah, right.
Because when I'm doing stuff with basketball, now I'm all amped up, and I'm and then I have to when I get done with I got to dial it down.
Yeah.
So, but being able to do that, understanding it, that yes, everything's not on that level anymore. So, but yeah, that would probably be the biggest thing.
Yeah.
If there was any one thing I could think of.
Do you think that a lot of the other, just to but to narrow it down, do you think a lot of the other guys on your team had the same thing?
Oh yeah, I would say most athletes are like that. When they retire, that first year, it could be the hardest year in your life because you're not competing. Okay, what do I do with my time now? Now you've got kids or families. Okay, now you got to integrate yourself back into them 24 hours a day.
Right.
That can be difficult.
It's like time management almost.
Yes,
as well.
Because for basketball for 6 months, 7 months out of a year,
right,
during the season, you're kind of locked into that.
Yeah.
Now, throw families in that, that's a whole different dynamics. But I would say, with any sport or anything, because because you have to be able to, I guess, kind of implement yourself back into a normal lifestyle. But most athletes, man, I would say that first year, I could be two, but I know that first year is tough because you're so used to going, you're so used to, you're on a set schedule. I got practice at this time. I'm doing this at this time. I'm doing that. I'm at home at this time. And now it's like, sitting there watching paint. Yeah, sitting there watching. Yeah. Okay, so what do I do now? No, you fine.
That's interesting. It's like being overwhelmed with the opposite of the absence of options.
Yeah.
There's so many options that
yes.
It's simple to wake up and do one
absolutely.
thing,
Yeah. For years.
Right.
For years. Like, example for me, like I've been on a similar regimen for, I can't tell you how many years, where my practices would be at 10 a.m. in the morning, go home, eat lunch, go back to the gym later. And it was so when I got out of that, it was like, okay, what do I do now? Okay, 10 o'clock, I'm not practicing anymore, but you still got that thing about you within that first year.
Yeah.
Or two for some people, but it can be tough. It can be tough. Especially, I'm just thinking now, if you really throw a family into that with kids, that's a whole different dynamic.
That's what I was going to ask you, actually, is how did your marriage?
Yeah.
So how did your marriage and then having kids and having that dynamic, how did that affect your career at the time? Did the timelines kind of line up, or?
No, everything was kind of lined up. It was, for me, it kind of lined up perfectly, so to speak. I knew, there were half of the year I'm going on basketball trips, and luckily at the time, my son wasn't born, so part of that time early. Actually, that happened later on when I was playing ball in Europe when I had my son. Okay. So things were a little bit different in the sense that over there I had more downtime from basketball. So it was more. We have our practices in the morning. I go work out in the morning before practice. Then we had that, and I come home, eat lunch, and I would go back to the gym just some extra. Or late in the evening, I go to back to the fitness center and work out. But at that time, though, everything was kind of really low key. So I was able to, my wife and my son at the time, we always would able to do a lot of stuff together. You know, whether it's going to the gym, going to shoot, or going to the fitness thing or stuff like that. So it's a little bit different back then.
Yeah, for sure.
No, but it's a situation too, man, where, like I said, one of the best jobs you have in the world.
Yeah,
you're working 2 hours a day on a basketball, you know, doing something that you really love to do.
Yeah.
And then after that, you got your whole day to. But then on the other side of it, you got to keep reminding yourself too that this is a business.
Right.
So you got to constantly keep your body.
I mean, that's the product.
Yeah, exactly.
That's essentially
yes. Your body is your tool.
Yeah.
So you gotta definitely keep yourself in tune with that.
Yeah. And then another just kind of side question I have here is like, what is the most helpful or consistent habit that you've made or have been consistent to throughout your career? Has there been one thing or maybe a couple things that you just stuck to?
Ooh.
Besides obviously being very consistent in physical fitness.
Let me see. That's a good one. That I stick to. I can't say off the top of my head there's one. Other than probably, what you just said though. I'm gonna say taking care of your body.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably the biggest one. Just being able to mentally and physically take care of your body. Get you the proper amount of sleep.
Yeah.
All that stuff.
Yeah. Eating
stuff
well.
Like eating well.
Sleeping
and
well.
Being 24, I wasn't doing that. You eat fast foods.
Yeah.
But as you get older, all that changes. You start to eat the right way. You start to see.
Right.
And the whole 9 yards. I remember one of my teammates told me when we were they had gotten tickets to a boxing match down at the Garden at the time. It was Marvin Hagler was fighting, and that was my rookie year. So we were able to get into our locker room and be able to see the fight.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so he told me. So I get down there, I got a warm-up suit on, pants and jacket and sneakers and stuff. And he said, you know what, young fella, you're a professional now. So you got to start dressing like a professional. Dressing like a professional. Okay. But I got what he was saying.
Right.
I understood what he was saying. So he said, now, because we're in here, and most of them had on, like just jeans or polo shirts, and I walk in with a gym workout, like I'm just coming from the gym. And that was for one thing he told me. I said, no, I get it. I understand. I looked around. Okay. So little bits and little nuggets like that. He said, you remember you're professional now, so you got to start dressing like it. Even if it's casual.
Right.
And so we were all there. I said, okay, I understood what he was saying. And that's what I say about that group, man. It was probably the best group of guys I ever been with from basketball.
Yeah.
Just hands down. Because they were always trying to help you. Me being young.
Yeah.
They were always trying to help you. It wasn't that thing where they were... because they had their own thing, their things going on too, but they, with myself and another rookie, they went through the same stuff when they were rookies, and they all like, well, we had people help us too.
Yeah. So
why would we not be one of our teammates?
Right.
I appreciate it, man, because I'm just out here like a newborn, just
floundering.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing, but all I know is, I'm glad to be here, man. And it's just the experience is unbelievable.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see what else we got here. How do you prioritize, or a better word is actually like a balance? How do you balance your physical and mental health now?
How do I balance it now?
Being retired. Or semi.
Mainly, I usually work out 4 or 5 times a week. Mm-hmm. I try to. That's pretty much it. Some days I may go to